2, 1. Have your fun, Cryo.
Wait,
No. Check your fucking mic.
I did already.
Okay.
I did. Let me double check it on Discord because I just checked my own initial
Is
settings.
this all
so
in?
let's make sure
Is this all in the beginning?
This is all going to be at the beginning, yes.
Don't edit this
This
out.
is the cold open.
Don't edit this out.
Would this fucking help you, Cryo, if I just talked at this level? Look, I am barely above audible, and I'm
My
still coming
theater
through
teacher would have fucking loved you. You know how to project, like, naturally.
Cryo, this is all in my throat.
Welcome to Starlost Seas! Hi, everybody. You're still recording. Now that's the intro. Now it has to be. Hi, everyone.
Hello.
Welcome to D&D. I'm your dungeon master, Lane, the person behind me, and also over there, or over there. I don't know how the layout's gonna look when it's finally done. That's Noah. And then we have the rest of our lovely party. Noah and others.
Why is it Noah and others?
Noah's in the room with me.
Automatically makes that okay.
Alright. Don't worry, I love you all, and that's why I'm going to put you through terrible, terrible pain. But maybe not in this session, but let's find out!
Don't worry, I love you, Noah, and all others.
To be fair.
Cryo and friends and everyone else.
Cryo and friend and everyone else.
With friends. Anyways, when last we left, you all had found yourselves magically teleported to the smuggler's port of Inshasla, where you then proceeded to just fuck around for like a solid 3 hours at the random stuff shop. You all got plenty of random stuff, either free or paid for, including but not limited to literally just a wool blanket, a normal knife like you all have anyways, a soap bear that 3 of you are convinced now is magic, and then the deed to a place in Ubula, which it's so excited for that. Twink is so excited for that. What?
And my cloak.
And your cloak. You've got a cloak, sir, that you'll be able to attune with on the long rest, because you then got on the Bor de Lais, Lorelai's ship, and you found out you've been gone for a month. So, as you were all either finishing dinner or, in the case of the 2 birds, preparing to start dinner, we ended with Eggold walking in, seeing you all, and walking out very exasperatedly. So, that's where we're picking up. Let's go.
Hungry. And then Lotus is just gonna walk off.
Socks looks to Twink and goes, "Who's that guy again?"
Pretty sure he's second in command on the other ship.
Oh,
right,
I think you said his name was.
Dolus followed behind Lotus.
I thought Dolus was already gone.
No, Dolus and Lotus were like, we got stopped at we opened the door and Eggold was there in front of us.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so the 2 of them have now left. It is now Kieran, Socks, and Twink in the bed hold.
Well, what a day. What a month this day has been. I think I need a nap and to read.
You're gonna say that out loud every time that we go to sleep, or are you just gonna do it?
Huh?
You're projecting what you're gonna do. Can you not do that every time?
No, it helps me do it. If I think it in my head, I'm gonna lose it.
All right.
A lot of empty space up there. Goes bong, 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 bong.
Does not surprise me.
And Kieran's gonna pull out his spell book, and we're in the room, right? I'm just gonna.
You are in the room, yes.
I'm gonna find a bed that doesn't have anything claimed on it. I'm gonna like just sit cross-legged and start reading.
Make a perception check.
Perception.
Each of you, I'm warning you right now, when you go in to find a bed, make a perception check.
18.
18. You find a bed. You find an empty bed. No signs of anybody. You sit on it and start reading.
Twink's specifically looking for a bed on the bottom.
Understandable.
Hey, today's starting off great.
Yeah.
Natural 1?
Natural 20.
You find the most comfortable, clean bed that you have ever seen in your life. it surprises you that it is on this ship and not in like a castle. The sheets are silk.
Socks, after transforming, using magic randomly, and everything, it just flops on the bed. Just completely gives up.
I got an 11.
You managed to find a bed.
I'm cool with that.
It seems empty.
It's empty. If somebody comes back and tries to claim it, they're not getting it.
All right, Dolus, Lotus. We're gonna cut over to you, where you will have walked. Let's just say you found a similar place down in the cargo hold as you had in the fog slip. The cargo hold of the Bor de Lais is a lot more organized. Everything seems like it's actually been inventoried and sorted properly. And also it smells significantly nicer.
Dolus, so I'd like to take a seat just somewhere like secluded. And Dolus will just like look at the bowl of food that Lotus handed him, and he just go, right, what is this?
Walk said it was celery, carrots, fish, and seawater.
Had me until right the end there. Right,
Lotus
let's
is
start
going to
eating.
sit across from him, just plops down, takes the mask off, and starts eating.
Dolus will also take his mask off. He kind of like picks up like a piece of like fish. He's like, "Did you catch this one?"
Yeah, I caught all of them. Well, Twink helped me catch all of them.
Right, but I'm sure you still put in most of the work. But just start eating.
In the middle of them eating, Lotus is just going to put her bowl down, kind of sit back, looking at the floor. So, are you going to tell me why you were crying, or are you going to keep secrets from me?
That was no. It's very. It's a complicated situation. So
We've
you
been
know
in
how.
complicated situations.
Right. So you know how I told you that sometimes I can go inside of the ring and I get advice.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this time it was less of advice and more of a command. And I think I might have to do something that I don't want to do.
What do you have to do?
I might have to hurt someone who has done nothing wrong.
If this person hasn't done anything wrong, then why are you being told to hurt them?
Dolus kind of just looks up and you can see his eyes are like red and like teared up. He's like, I wish I knew.
Lotus is going to go through her bag and she's going to take out the Bear of Awakening and the Oni mask. And then she's going to put the bowl down and she's going to like crawl over to him, smush the mask on his face, and put the Bear of Awakening into his hands.
What are you doing?
It's good luck.
Oh,
Magic bear. It smells like Raiden.
you're right. It does.
It's kind of like Raiden is still with us.
Yeah. Almost.
You guys have a nice heartwarming moment as you think back on Raiden. smells very familiar. And Dolus, you actually do feel a bit. You two eat the rest of your meal down there in the cargo hold, while the other three all generally just kind of sit. One reads. Twink, what do you do?
I go. Oh! I completely forgot I wanted to show those two something, and I'm gonna go off looking for them.
Okay, so you hop up out of bed and you rush off into the main hold. Can you roll? Roll investigation.
18.
18. Okay. So you remember as the door was closing behind them that you had seen them going in the direction of the stairs down into the lower hold, and you have no reason to think they'd go elsewhere, so you're going to go right down those stairs.
Sounds good.
Both of you hear a gnome hopping down the stairs because he kind of has to plump, plump, plump his way down. So what are you going to do in reaction?
So Dolus hears someone coming down the stairs, and he immediately swipes down the Oni mask that was placed on his head and puts on his own mask and grabs Lotus's and hands it to her and just like whispers, "Quick, put it on."
And she puts it on.
Okay.
And I like to just peek out behind like a bug.
Lotus, I would like you to roll sleight of hand as Twink comes down the stairs for putting on your mask.
20.
Ooh!
Unnatural 20. It's a 16 plus
Un-
4, but still 20.
Dirty 20. You put the mask on perfectly fine. It slaps onto your face perfectly, just as Twink hops down into eyesight.
How do you guys eat with those things on?
We don't.
Okay.
Dolus would like to stand up and he goes, "Is there an issue?"
No issue at all. I just wanted to show you something. I thought you might find it interesting.
Right. What would that be?
He comes over. Are you guys sitting down?
Well, Dolus just stood up, but he
Okay, so Lotus is still sitting down. Twink is going to sit down next to Lotus, and he's going to lean over and go, "Do you mind if I borrow one of your spoons for a second? I think you might like this."
Oh, she's gonna take out her mess kit and just shows you the array of spoons that she has.
Pick which one. It doesn't matter which.
This one. And it's the wooden one.
Okay. He picks it up, and he kind of starts twirling it in his fingers. And in his other hand, he pulls out his hammer from his arcane tool, or his tinker tools. And he starts spinning it around. And as he's spinning the hammer, you kind of see it start to glow a purplish color. And then he kind of takes it and just kind of taps it to the bottom of the wooden spoon. And he hands it back. And he pulls out just this ordinary stone. And he does the same thing to it. And then he hands it to Dolus.
Dolus takes it.
What did you do?
Lotus, why don't you do me a favor and run upstairs real quick?
Oh, okay. And then she's just gonna, like, scamper up the stairs.
Dolus, what I want you to do is I want you to speak into that stone with the intention of talking to Lotus.
Excuse me?
Just trust me. You get to say something into the stone like you're talking to Lotus.
Right. I puts the stone like to the end of his like the beak of his mask. He's like, "Hello, Lotus."
Lotus, as you are running all the way up the ship, because at no point did they tell you where to stop, you're just going. As you're getting up the top set of stairs onto the deck, suddenly your spoon speaks as if it were Dolus.
Dolus, did you become a spoon?
and you hear that back through the stone.
No. Did you become a stone?
That's all you can say. You can't talk back.
Oh.
Yeah, you're not going to be able to respond. Whoever speaks first, you could respond back to, but it's one time a day.
Right.
I figured it'd at least be useful in case you get lost or separated. You could at least find out where the other is.
The spoon is no longer responding to you, and you're a little panicked that you think Dolus is a spoon.
Dolus? Dolus, did you become a spoon? Lotus!
Are you like hitting the spoon on the ground? So I can use this rock once a day to speak to Lotus?
Yes, that's correct. It's one way or the other. If she speaks to you, you can respond, but you can't speak again. Or if you speak to her, she can respond, but she can't speak again. And it only works for 25 words.
Right. Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Lotus is just gonna noom back downstairs. And all the while saying, Twink! You turned my brother into a spoon!
Ah, don't be silly, lass. He's right here.
I'm not a spoon.
What?
I told you one day there might be magical spoons.
Magical spoon! Magical Dolus wooden spoon!
I'll leave it to you, Dolus, to explain how it works to her. And then Twink's gonna head back.
Okay.
Right.
Uh,
So Dolus just kind of gives her like a layman's like terms explanation of it.
for a basic explanation of how it all works, Lotus, you, through Dolus's very, very direct and keen explanations, eventually get it in your head how it works. Takes about 20 minutes, and in that time, you feel the boat start to move, and the bosun's whistle blows, indicating you've cast off. And then you set about to finish your dinner. Okay. Any other conversations while the birds are finishing their dinners from anybody?
No conversation, but Socks, pretty much as soon as he hit the bed, after taking a few minutes to decompress, pops open his book and begins just basically chicken scratching theories about what the hell Archbold really is and how his magic works. He is determined to figure out how he did chronergy.
Yes.
That one.
Just say Dunamancy, we know.
How he did Dunamancy. And so he is just filling page after page of just theories and methods.
Okay. The two birds eventually finish, and they come back to the bunk room. It's nice. It's kind of like a the layout is almost arch shaped, where you basically walk in on either side, and there's a square of bunks in the middle, and there's bunks rimming all of the edges. Kieran is near one of the edges. Twink and Socks are on that back edge.
I'd like to just go back to the bunk that I had claimed when I got there.
Okay. You go back to that bunk you'd already got.
I point
Lotus.
up to the bed above, and I tell Lotus, I saved you a bed.
And then she's just gonna... Is there enough space for me to just fly up? Like
There's
far?
not enough space for you to fly up. You
I'm
will
just gonna
have to
hold on
climb.
to the edge. Looks over at Dolus.
Are you alright?
Up.
There's a ladder. Okay. And then he goes up and he like picks her up and just like lifts her up to the top bunk.
Yeah, we'll say with some sneaky help from Lotus pulling herself also, you both get her into the bed just fine. Each of the beds also has a tiny little privacy curtain. It's not completely, like, it won't completely block you out, but it's like that semi see-through material. So you can't really see what's going on in there, but you can see there's a person in there. And with that, we are going to begin the long rest as you all fall asleep to the rocking waves. As the Bor de Lais sets out northward to hopefully make its way to Shadesteppe. And now I have to do something.
Yay, long rest,
You can't tell me
finally.
to roll. You can't tell me to roll wild magic.
I can't tell you randomly to roll wild magic. Not yet.
It's been 6 sessions.
Doesn't it last 24 hours?
It lasts until the next long rest.
Ah, I tried.
Yeah, it's okay.
And if that were true, it's been a month.
Yeah, but you've only traveled through however many hours.
True. 3 is. I like this one. Okay. So you do your long rest. No one. Yes.
Am I attuned now?
You are. Yes. You would tune to. You would tune to your cloak. Feel free to equip a cloak of protection.
Thanks. Beautiful.
Fantastic.
By the
So
way, are there like blankets?
there's basic blankets and sheets, except in Sock's bed because he somehow managed to find the magic cot.
You know, the one character that doesn't sleep?
Yeah.
Lotus
Hey, man, I
really
always want the-
wants to like pull the blanket over her and take the mask off as she sleeps. And
Okay.
so she's like curled up, her wings are kind of like over her, and she's on her side.
Aw,
Yeah.
sweet little baby, all curled up asleep. Okay. So, you all awaken to the sound of boots running back and forth on the deck above you, and the bosun's whistle sounding off and off and off again. It doesn't sound like there's combat of any kind. You can't hear cannons, you can't hear shouting, but you hear lots of kerfuffle going on above you.
Twink's gonna be like, it's gonna be like this every day. Gonna hop out of bed.
Dolus just puts his mask on before pulling back the privacy curtain, and just kind of shakes Lotus awake.
Her feathers kind of like ruffle a little bit, as if she's waving you off.
Good morning, Lotus. We have to get up. You're going to miss breakfast.
Socks
And then
in
she
this
shoots
time
right up.
stands up. Basically, in this time, Socks gets up, walks over, and just kind of blindly swipes shoes back from Lotus without really breaking stride.
Make a sleight of hand check.
Great. This is going to be
I
fun.
was cuddling with her the whole
That's a
night.
15 plus 2.
It's a 15 plus 2. So as Dolus is shaking Lotus awake and you're walking by, you turn briefly to just swoop your cat away. And you catch the slightest glimpse of Lotus's forehead peeking out from underneath her wings and the blanket. And then you move on because you don't stop.
And he just kind of holds shoes out and just goes, "Good morning, love. This
She
is
just
going to be a
mules-
busy day."
Just mules back at you. Very upset that you woke her up. Very upset.
It's all right. You can go right back to bed, but I need to make sure that I can keep an eye on you now. And he gently puts her back in the bag, which is actually padded at the bottom with just like old cloth that he's basically procured, and heads his way
His
upstairs.
bag just has a shoes pocket.
Yeah, it's got a shoes pocket.
It's a shoebox.
It's a shoe bag. All right. Kieran.
Okay, hearing the like stomping about, I'm just like, it's before noon. I'll like sit up, like, wrap myself.
As you
in my
go to
cloak.
sit up in your bunk, you smack your head onto the top of it because this is like a 2-foot space that you lay in.
I'll just try and like roll out vertically onto the floor, like still wrapped in my cloak because Kieran is too young to wake up before noon.
Hey, make a dexterity check for me real quick.
That's a solid natural 1.
You, wrapped up in your cloak, don't really take into consideration the fact that you are on a rocking ship. So as you go to roll out, it happens to rock the direction that makes you go flying across the hallway and smacking into the opposite bunk. Can you take 1 point of bludgeoning damage? You're thoroughly awake now, though.
I think it should be noted that when you do get up, all you're gonna do is see Twink staring at you.
Morning. Twink. Morning, Twink. How you doing?
I must say, it must matter now that I've seen you do that.
Well, I'm awake. You know what's going up? You know what's going on up there?
Why would I know what's going on up there?
Early to rise, maybe?
No.
Do you think it's something we should go figure out, or?
Are you still on the floor?
Sure. Sure. Okay. Good talk. I'll just stand around.
Lotus, you're awake by now, also, with Dolus constantly shaking you.
Puts the mask on. Looks over at Dolus. Pulls out the comb and starts combing his hair.
She's like pulling it really hard. It's like getting caught. He's like, you don't have to do that. He like takes it from her hand.
We can use this. I was thinking about that last night before I fell asleep.
Right. You need to be a little more gentle with it when you use it, because hair is, a little more gentle than our feathers.
Oh, yeah.
You can pull these out, and it hurts a lot. He's like pulling at he pulls at his hair, and he kind of like takes a little strand of her hair and kind of like pulls on it a little bit.
He's right, it does hurt more than when your feathers get tugged on.
Ow, 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 ow.
We can do this later. It's fine. Let's go see what the ruckus is about.
Oh. And then she like hops off the top.
So Socks, you're the first one out. So you're the first one who gets to decide where on the ship you're gonna go.
I mean, I was just gonna head straight up toward the noise.
Okay, fair enough. You go right up on deck and immediately realize almost the entire crew is up here. They're all quickly rummaging around for various things. It's the first thing you notice. As you look up and around, you realize you're in a really thick fog. You cannot see more than 50 feet off either side of the ship, but what you can see are these giant rock pillars and arches rising up out of the ocean.
Sox looks around to try and find one of the closest, like crewmates or even Lorelai, just so he can try and figure out where the hell they are.
It's easy enough to find some familiar faces because it's easy enough for you to find Lorelai, Eggles, and Harmon at the helm, all sort of conferring with one another.
Sox walks up to the helm and just goes, good morning, everybody.
Harmon goes, aye, it's a great morning. No, it's not. I don't think it's a good morning. And turns to Lorelai and he's like, is it a good morning? And she goes, fucking... He was having a regular conversation seconds ago before you showed up. It's like you turn him on like this. Not like that. And she says before you even have the chance to think about that word. And then she kind of like sighs and leans on the wheel of the helm.
Well, I'm not quite sure how. I apologize.
She goes, no, it's okay. It's just when you ask him questions, he's like, I do lots of fun things. I'm a fun person. I think so.
No respect, or no disrespect meant, but I didn't ask him a question.
You said good morning. And good morning is a question when the morning is not good.
And why might that be?
Lorelai just gestures at the fog and the rocks.
Right, and where are we exactly?
So you see, the reason it's not a good morning, stands up his cousin, because we have no idea.
How did that happen?
Eggles is the one who talks this time. He goes, to be perfectly honest, we don't know. We've sailed this way every crew member has sailed all the way to Shadesteppe 24 times over, and we've never seen this before.
Sox sits there for a moment, kind of strokes his chin, and just goes, "Where's Archbold?"
Lorelai goes, the Twitchy elf, he's still in the first mate's cabin. I think he's sleeping in.
Right. Well, remember how I said that he's a bit special?
Lorelai kind of stands up a bit straighter, and she's like,
He didn't touch anyone who could cast, correct?
he hasn't moved since he fell in that bed.
Right. Well, I know one thing's for sure. Harmon has a lovely sense of direction, and I have no doubts that you are equally as skilled. So that just leads me to my only conclusion of Archibald may have had a flare-up, or something's just completely wrong.
Lorelai looks at you and she goes, figure out if your elf got my ship lost before I shoot both of you.
Duly noted. I'm gonna go talk to him now, and just immediately, like, he's
As you
backing
go
up as
back
he
to the
speaks.
captain's, like towards the captain quarters, she goes, if I'm missing any wine, that's it. She just shouts that back at you.
Can I say that Twink passes Socks, like, as he's running back in, I'm walking out onto the deck?
Yep.
Okay. I probably catch the end of that, and I go, you wonder, you think the fog's going to bring in any bigger fishes? And he's going to start pulling the fishing pole out.
Sox goes, honestly, more than likely. Let's just hope it doesn't bring any big fish again. And he is really not wanting to get shot, so he is not exactly stopping to have conversation.
Okay, you just rush off into the captain's quarters as the rest of you all make your way out onto the deck too and discover the exact same sight.
We're throwing a line in the water.
Okay, you throw your fishing line in the water.
When Lotus comes up onto the deck and sees this, she's like, "Oh, are we fishing again?" And then she just runs off over to Twink.
Both of you roll survive, or one of you roll survival with an advantage. Yeah, I think he's saying you, Lotus.
Yeah, definitely you.
23. You muted yourself.
Cryo.
You muted yourself.
Cryo muted.
You want to try that entire section of speaking
I do
again?
want to try that entire section of speaking again. I mixed up being muted and being not muted. Okay. So you both wait there at the line for even seemingly longer than yesterday, and there is no response.
It's okay. It's a game of patience, you see. We'll get her.
Okay.
Okay.
Cryo, could you describe the site that we see again? Like that they're looking
So you are surrounded by fog. You can't see any more than like 50 feet off the side of the ship, but you can see these silhouettes and the occasional passing big rock arches and pillars rising out of the ocean.
Dolus will just walk over to Lorelai and just go, excuse me, Captain. What seems to be the issue? Very nice site we have here. And he just looks around.
Lorelai kind of sighs and she's like, This is a sizable ship. And those are sizable stones. And I don't know where we are or where we're going. So if we try and speed our way out of here at all, we smash into one of them and we all drown. Maybe not you, considering the wing.
Right.
And she goes, and she's like, so we have to go at a snail's pace through here. And because I cannot see the sky, I can just judge by the general position of the sun where we are going. And she like gestures at the sun shining through the fog.
Dolus will just go, maybe I can be of some assistance, and I'd like to just take like 5 steps back and just fly straight up.
Oh,
Just straight up out above the fog. Let's see if I can go like above the fog.
okay. So you, with one big flap of your wings, the fog swirls out around you as you go straight up. You fly for what you know to be a couple hundred feet. You're familiar with flying. It's natural to you. And as you get higher in the fog, the ship kind of starts to fade out beneath you as you start to not be able to see it. And you keep flying. You're probably about 300, 400 feet in the air now. And still not out of the fog.
Around that point, I would like to start descending slowly, just right straight back down.
Okay. As you descend straight back down, eventually you get down to like 100 to 80 feet, the point where you would definitely see the ship and definitely be at the ship, and the ship is not there.
I'd like to start flying a little bit forward in the direction of where the ship was going.
Roll survival.
Survival? Okay.
Yeah.
I can open my dice. Sorry. Okay. That is a
+5.
17 plus 5.
17. Okay. So as you fly kind of forward, you eventually catch sight of the back of the ship as it's still coasting its way forward, and you land on the back, like the elevated level behind the helm.
Mhm.
And Lorelai turns back to you and she goes, "Well,
Well, that was not of much help. It seems to be fog all the way up as well.
Lorelai kind of sits there for a second and goes, "All the way up."
I flew hundreds of feet into the air, and I was not able to see anything but fog.
And Eggolds kind of crosses his arms. He goes, "When I sailed into this last night, it was just normal fog, no taller than the ship." And Lorelai
Is
kind of
Swing
goes,
close enough to hear this conversation?
"Over the sounds of the deck, no."
Okay.
And Eggolds kind of like strums his hands and he's like, "I don't know what this is." And Lorelai goes, "Clearly it's magic."
Right.
And she goes, they've told me you do magic. And she points at Dolus and she's like, "Any
Who?
idea?"
Who told you?
And she points at Harmon and he goes, "I watched you blow up a snake."
I was like, I didn't.
Right. I don't. I can't say I know what this is. I will try and find out, though.
Kieran, saw you raising your hand, which, by the way, you don't have to do.
Can I hear that? No,
Yes,
no.
Kieran
that
is
was in
just
character. If I-
standing. Kieran is just standing.
No, yeah,
by the
absolutely
helm.
in character. Absolutely in character. It's like
Oh,
gonna
you break
lose
it.
it.
You break it up.
We're gonna
Breaking
lose
up.
it.
about 10 minutes. I can. Oh, am I? Why is that
Oh,
happening?
there you go.
What's that
Oh,
happening?
you said
That's
you
no
said
fun.
completely in
I'm on
character,
top.
and then you started cutting up.
Yeah, I am on top of my router. So I was like, if I have 10 minutes, I can at least see for sure if the fog is magic and hopefully where it's coming from.
Okay.
I haven't been on the sea, but I at least think that sea fog comes from the sea and not from the sky. So I want to start ritual casting detect magic.
Detect magic. Okay, so you
So that'll
start
take about 10
ritual
minutes.
casting detect magic. While you are ritual casting, we'll go back to the two fishers who still have not gotten anything to tug on their line.
Twink,
Yes.
does it usually take this long? I don't think it took this long yesterday, right?
Well, yesterday you got to think about it. We were around those rocks. They probably live there. This is open water. You know what might help?
What? What?
There's this technique they use. It's called chumming. I need you to go find Walk. I need you to go get all the fish base that he had from yesterday that he didn't use in his soups. I need you to bring it back.
Fish remains. Okay. And then she's gonna hand the fishing pole to Twink, and then she's just gonna run off. To find Walk.
Run down to
A
find.
great time to
As
ask.
running.
Does Lotus know who Walk is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're best
No,
friends.
Lotus
They have
knows
spoon collection.
who Walk is, but does Lotus know who Walk is? The name itself.
Yeah. Wait.
What are
I'm
you
pretty
talking
sure Walk
I
is.
told her last session to take him to Walk.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't
No,
know Walk.
She knows who Walk is.
They're best friends. They have spoon collection.
It's just Walk
They
doesn't know
bonded
who
over-
what her name is. So
I remember one of them not knowing the other's name.
Does not know her name. She is Spoon Girl or Little Bird Girl.
As she starts running off, Dolus just calls out, "Where are you going?"
finding Walk.
Oh,
And she just immediately like
Dolus does not know who Walk is.
Twink holding this pole now and goes, I really hope nothing big bites on us while she's gone.
All right. Inside the captain's quarters, you know exactly, Socks, where the door for the first mate's quarters are. You go straight to them and you pound on them. And there's no response from inside.
Archibald,
You hear like a mumbling sound.
Archibald, wake up!
The door opens and Archibald is still like half draped in the wool blanket you stole from Dolus yesterday, and his hair is all messed up, and he's like,
Didn't steal anything from Dolus. Dolus put it on him. He gave him a panic attack blanket. What do you mean stole it from
It's my
Dolus?
shock
Give
blanket.
it back.
I'm in shock.
Didn't steal it.
shock. Okay. In his shock blanket, he's still half covered in his shock blanket. His hair is all disheveled, and he goes, I'm waking up. What's wrong?
He's a half elf, right?
As far as you're aware, he's a full elf because he is the half brother of Atronon.
Okay, great. So now it's a great time to address. Were you sleeping?
And he goes, Yeah, I sleep.
You're an elf.
And he's like, Don't go starting that. I had to deal with so much crap from all the kids about how I sleep. I don't want to hear it.
I don't judge you, I just was confused. You choose to do so.
And he goes, No, some of us sleep because we have to. We can't all trance. Well, everyone can. I can't trance. And he like sighs and he goes, What do you need?
Can you cast magic accidentally?
Can I get what?
Well, when we went to bed, we were on course.
Don't
Now-
tell me I jumped us a month into the future again.
There's no way for us to know yet. However, we're in the middle of fog, completely off course, where these professionals who have done this route 1,000 times don't know where we are.
And he goes, I've never cast magic in my sleep before, and I have to be around someone who can use magic to use that magic. So, I don't know.
Right. Well, you and I are going to go speak to Lorelai, because you're going to tell her that so she doesn't put those shiny guns in our faces again.
Why would she put the guns in it? Why would she think I did
Because
this?
if you did this, she is threatening to shoot us.
Why would she think I did this?
Because it's the only logical explanation right now.
Isn't it way more logical to think that we just sailed into fog?
Well, yes, but you'd figure that these people know their routes fairly well, even in fog. The first mate, or whoever was steering last night, said with full confidence that he knows exactly how to get to Shadesteppe.
Maybe he's wrong?
It's a possibility. Would you like to just sit here and test that theory and potentially get an angry pirate lady pointing guns at us, or would you like to go and try and figure out what happened?
We could go figure out what happened. And he just like throws the blanket off down on a bed you see nearby. And then he straightens his hair really quick. He goes, Okay, I'm ready to not get shot.
And like as they're walking, Socks pulls out his book and just starts rattling off different theories about how he possibly did what he did yesterday. So it's just like, so you don't know any Dunamancy?
I don't know any magic. Do I have to do the prestidigitation thing again?
No, I understand that much. Is it possible that your Misty Step mutated?
I don't know what that means.
Sometimes spells can become other spells if you don't know how to cast them correctly.
I don't know. I don't do magic randomly. Do you do magic randomly? Does anybody?
Arguably, yes, considering that I've taught quite a few of them. But also, great. So we have no idea how your Misty Step time dilated.
And he goes, is this gonna help us not get shot right now?
No, but it might help us not time travel again in the future.
Okay, he just kind of walks out of the captain's cabin.
And so they start heading toward Lorelai.
Lotus, you run down into the galley, and you find Walk, just sitting there, chopping up something. You don't know what.
Mr. Spoonman,
He turns and goes, Spoon Girl!
do you have fish remains?
What?
Fish remains? Fish bones? Fish meat? Scales? Fish?
He just like turns back to the pot and he goes, I have everything that's in the bottom of this. And there's like a slosh, a kind of a multicolored goo at the bottom of the pot. And he goes, I just kind of mash them all up in there. So that's everything.
She's gonna take both hands and she's just gonna stick her hands into the pot, get a handfuls, and then just, okay, thank you, and she runs off.
It is a horrendous smell. Just kind of watches you leave and he goes, that girl ain't right. And then he just goes back to chopping.
Yeah, she runs back to Twink.
Okay. Twink, she arrives with Chum.
Oh dear.
I got things.
I see that. Have you ever heard of a bucket?
Yes.
Okay. Next time, bringing it in a bucket.
Okay.
Okay, what I want, just throw it over the edge
It's kind
there.
of dripping slowly through your fingers, so you
just-
have to like.
Throw it over the edge, darling. Just throw it over.
Can you actually make a dexterity check for me real quick?
Knew this would happen.
Okay, she's
21.
got good dexterity. Yeah, she's got good dexterity. See, she perfectly arcs it to make just this beautiful little half circle around where the fishing line is currently sitting in the water, and it just, and then it slowly starts to seep into the water as she shimmies off her hands.
He had to have more than that, right?
Yeah.
Can you please go get the rest of it in a bucket this time?
Okay, and she runs off again.
Don't forget to wash your hands when you're done.
Okay.
As she runs off this time, that's about the time that Socks and Archbold step out onto the helm where Lorelai, Dolus, and Kieran are all standing.
I'd like to do something while that was happening.
Okay,
Meanwhile, while Lotus was doing that whole thing and the thing with Socks and Archbold is happening after, Dolus told Lorelai that he'll try and find out. I'd like to walk like as far like from the people there as possible to like on the railing, like the most.
You're on like the back railing, like farthest away.
There's nobody trying to see. There's no one around me.
Yeah, that's not hard. Everybody's rushing to masts and things and making sure the ship is moving at smooth pace. So you find a quiet corner really easily.
So in this quiet corner, Dolus will take off his glove and he kind of just turns the dial on his ring a little bit and he just whispers down, God, Ellie, do you know what this mist is? And he puts the ring like up to his ear.
You start to hear these faint little whispers. It can't be made out super clearly. it's almost like talking through static. And all you can make out are the words "not mine" and "danger."
Oh, fun. He puts the glove back on and just walks back over to the group.
So you walk over. You will say you walk over as Archibald and Socks walk out onto the helm.
And Socks walks up to Lorelai and goes, okay, so doesn't appear like it's been Archibald. He can't cast in his sleep. And then Socks turns back. Okay, what about your parents? What are your parents? Were they magic users at all?
And he goes, "My mom is a wood elf, and I don't know my dad, but he was apparently also a wood elf. I am just wood elf."
Great, okay. And he immediately turns back to Lorelai. He can't cast in his sleep. And since you said he can't leave, do we know anything else about this fog since I've left?
Is my detect magic up?
You have about 1 more minute until your detect magic is up. You're still casting. Lorelai turns back to you and goes, "All I know is it's fog, and apparently it just goes straight up, according to Bird Boy."
And
So
Socks
she
turns to
kinda waves.
Archibald and goes, well, you study the stars and things like that. That usually depends on weather. Correct me if I'm wrong, but fog usually doesn't go all the way up to the stratosphere.
And Archibald kind of shrugs and goes, "Fog's usually only a couple 100 feet high. It can get higher, but usually then it's a cloud at that point and rains."
Right. So if you didn't cast it, and none of us cast it, but it's definitely not normal fog, we may have a problem.
I have good conscience to believe that this is a dangerous situation that we have
Lorelai
found
kinda nods
ourselves
at you
in.
and she goes like, "Oh, yeah, because, the fact that we could smash into rocks at any time didn't tell you that."
I suspect it's more than that.
The only thing that could generate this much fog is probably another magic user, which means that we might be in range of someone else's spell right about now.
It's actually at this exact moment that you finish ritual casting detect magic, Kieran.
I want to look around, look into the fog, see if the fog is magic, or like take a cursory glance around. If I see anything off the boat, that's like a glow of magic.
You don't see anything in the fog. The fog does not seem magical. But all of the rocks have this faint glow of magic. The Conjuration School, specifically.
Well, Captain, the fog itself doesn't seem to give any magical aura. It looks like all natural fuckery. But the rocks themselves, are there magical rocks? Because it's those rocks are definitely conjuring something.
Dolus pulls out
Maybe-
like the little rock in his pocket that Twink gave him yesterday. He's like, I believe so.
Oh, you found a
So-
magic rock.
Socks kind of steps back and looks at the rocks, and then turns over to Twink and goes, "Twink, where's Lotus?"
She should be down below, going to find Wok.
Great. Do you think you could identify magic inside a rock?
Inside of a rock. I mean,
Made
I'd have
of
to go.
rock.
I'd have to go to the rock.
Do you have something to break it with?
I will.
And he turns to Dolus and goes, "You think you could fly him?"
I suppose I could take him to the rock.
Great, because if we can identify exactly what magic this is, then maybe we could find some way to counteract it.
Right.
No.
Well, and so Dolus will walk over to Twink, and he's just like, well,
I really no, I really don't prefer flying over there if we could keep from it.
how else would you get there?
Well, these things are called boats. You lower it down, tie the rope to the actual ship. That way, if we get pulled too far, we follow the boat.
Oh,
Right. We don't want to get lost out there.
right. Just
Lorelai immediately like smacks Eggold on the shoulder and she goes, "Take him, go." And Eggold like runs down and immediately starts lowering one of the nearest rowboats.
All right, Dolus, I'm going to need you to do me a favor.
right.
He hands you the fishing pole.
Dolus is just holding the fishing pole. He's like,
When Lotus gets back, she'll know what to do. Give it to her.
right. Will you be fine on your own?
Yeah, I'll be all right.
Oh,
Would you like me to come with you?
Nah, I'm good.
Dolus is standing, like, currently not facing the ocean, just with the rod, like, in his hand. Like, he doesn't know what to do with it.
I'm not going to explain.
So if something pulls really hard, the pull would likely smack him in the face.
Yeah, probably.
Great.
Oh no, I saw that look on Cryo's face.
It's fine, don't worry about it.
We
Eggold
did
has
just
gotten the
jump in the
rowboat
water.
down to the water, and about this time we're gonna go back into the galley where Lotus comes running in to walk.
Walk, I need a bucket, and the rest of the thingies in there.
He kind of like looks at you. He's chopping something else now that you also don't recognize, and he goes, "Why?
Fishing.
You're chumming!" Oh, you really should have said that before you just reach your hands into this bucket. And he takes the pot and he grabs an empty bucket nearby and he just goes, and it like fills almost to the top except for a little bit of spillover, and then he just sets the bucket down and he goes, and fish can't resist this. He like reaches underneath to one of the cabinets and he pulls out another thing that you don't recognize because you're Lotus, and he just plops it on top. And he goes, "You're all set."
Okay. Thank you. I'll let you know if I got fish. And then she takes the bucket and she runs off.
Okay.
Her hands are still covered in fish chum, correct?
Yes, they are.
Okay.
Yes. And as you run off, Walk watches you go and goes. And then he just goes back to country shopping.
Girl ain't right.
Girl ain't right. As you run out onto the deck, Twink is in the rowboat now, being lowered to the water with Eggold.
Like, fishing.
He'll be all right. He'll be okay. Your brother has the pole. Go fish with him.
Okay. And he runs over to Dolus and is like, bucket.
So Dolus,
You are just hit in the face with this stench.
yeah, Dolus like turns over and he just goes, "Hello, what is that?
Oh.
Why is it on your hands?"
I stuck my hands in it.
Why?
I didn't have a
This?
bucket.
And he points at the thing that that Walk put in the middle. He's like, "What is this?"
No.
You don't recognize it either. It's just like a pile
Okay.
of these like brown and black and gold, like little balls.
So, this is what Twink told me to do. And then she's gonna...
Do you throw the bucket?
Make a dexterity check.
I'm holding on to the bucket.
Okay, that's fine.
Oh, that's a 9.
That's 9. As you go, you are not accustomed to throwing something that is still technically a fluid out of a bucket, so it kind of catches, and there's a solid amount of splashback on you and Dolus, and some gets on the rowboat as it's being lowered.
Oops.
Dolus kind of like takes like the robe that he has over him and he like throws it off, and he's just like, "Why didn't you just turn it upside down over the edge?" Why did you try and throw it?
All right, Twink. Narrowly not being schmacked by whatever was in the chum bucket, you reach the bottom of the water, and Eggold releases the boat, save for one safety line, and begins rowing towards the nearest pillar. It's only like 20 feet away. It was close enough for Kieran to see with detect magic, so it's not far.
Mm-hmm. As we approach it, I look at Eggold and I go, you know, I didn't really see what you were doing against the serpent, but if there's something on this rock, what can you do to help?
And Eggold goes, I drive a boat.
Good, we might need that.
Yeah, I think it's pretty useful in this situation.
All right. I'm going to take that moment to but to pull out, because I have a set of Mason's tools. I just pull out my set, and I go, well, hopefully this thing doesn't explode when I smack into it.
And Eggold gets kind of wide-eyed, and he goes, Is that a thing? Is that a thing that happens?
Who knows? And I'm just gonna.
As you tink the chisel into the rock, you expect like the usual chisel like bink sound, but it's almost like it is amplified, and it echoes all around you multiple times as you tink it. You just hear ting 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 ting.
Oh, that might not be good.
Eggold goes, Did you get rock at least?
Did I?
You did not. There's a little like chisel mark where you hit it, but there is.
And I kind of just touch over it and I go, no, I didn't. I think we should be more worried about the sound, though.
Why?
Well, what did that sound like to you?
It sounded like an echo.
It sounded to me like a dinner bell.
Eggold kind of puts his hands on the oars and he's like, Are we still getting rock, or is this when I start driving the boat?
No, there's no reason to panic yet. And then, let me see what's in my Mason's tool real quick, because I might pull out something bigger.
Back on the ship, real quick, you all hear the ting, and you hear it echo out in every single direction over and over.
That's not the sound that fish make.
Correct.
Also not the sound that rocks make.
Socks is speaking to Lorelai, and he's just like, how close are we to Shadesteppe?
And she goes, We set out yesterday. We're still 2 weeks out.
Right, and he's kind of like flipping through his notes, seeing if he has anything about rocks that produce fog.
You do not.
Yeah, and so he just kind of closes his book and goes, all right, and they echo too. And he leans over the edge of the boat and goes, hey, Twink!
Do I hear him? And he's
you would hear him. You're not far off.
Okay. I kind of look back and I kind of squint a little bit and go, yes.
Any luck getting any off?
I'm gonna need you. I don't like Eggold that much.
Eggold just goes, what?
Any luck getting any rock?
No.
Do you think you can identify it just from there?
No.
All right, best of luck. He just turns back to Lorelai and shrugs.
Lorelai just kind of sighs and she's like, this is absolutely fantastic. Best thing that's happened to me all day.
Well, you know, magic isn't a science. Well, not an exact science, at least. Unless you're a wizard, in which case, it's more like English. Or common.
Good job. Good save.
I just love how this is just Dolus is having an assault on his senses. He can't see. He's hearing this ringing noise. He smells like fish chum. Like, this is horrible.
He looks at Dolus and goes, also, Dolus, you might want to turn around before the pull, becomes part of your mask.
He turns at a 90-degree angle.
The line is now this way into the water as he's holding it looking towards the front of the ship.
You're so
good
close. Face the water. Have you never gone fishing?
I've fished, but not with this. Not with this. I fished with
It's a,
weapons.
it's a
My
fishing
hands.
A
Fishing
fishing
spear.
pole.
fishing spear.
A fishing. I don't think this is a spear.
It looks like my spear, and she takes out her spear.
Dolores kind of takes her spear and puts it up next to the fishing pole, and the fishing pole, I'm assuming, is like bent.
Yeah, it's
Like-
a little bend. There's no tension on it.
Right. It's like, right, it almost does. And he just gives her spear back.
Twink, have you found a better tool for removing rocks?
Yeah, so I'm going through my bag of holding and I go, yes. I pull it out and I go, Eggold, I'm going to need your help. And I haven't turned around yet, so he can't see what I have in my hands.
Okay. Eggold kind of just nods and he goes, got it.
And as I kind of move my body over, I'm holding this crowbar into the spot that I had just put the thing. It says, I need you to hold this while I hit it with a hammer.
How good are you with a hammer?
Better than you are at rowing boats.
And he goes, that's debatable. And he puts the crowbar up to the rock, like right in where the chisel slot is. And he nods at you really confidently.
And I go, all right, you might want to close your eyes.
He turns his face away from the rock.
I'm going to give it a nice swing with my hammer.
It hits, and there is a significant crack that immediately forms in the rock. And there is another ping, and it echoes out all around you again.
Am I able to get something, like extract a piece of this rock now, or is it just cracked? Like even
Not yet.
a tiny
The
fragment.
crowbar is in there there's no little splinters or anything yet.
All right, I'm going to give it another solid one.
You give it another solid whack, followed by another ping as the crowbar sinks a tiny little bit more in, and Eggold takes a moment to try and pry, and he's just like, it does not want to give.
No, it doesn't. Stand back.
He steps
And I'm
back.
going to go at it from the side.
Oh, you hit it again, and again, and again, and it keeps pinging, and pinging, and pinging, and then you realize the echoes that are pings are starting to be replaced with boom, 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 and each time you hit it, it cracks a little wider until finally a chunk like yay big falls off of it, and the pings stop, but the echoes that were turning into booms get louder and louder and don't stop as the rock falls into the rowboat.
And I just start nodding my head and go, yes, now is the time to row the boat back.
Eggold is already rowing. The moment the rock got in the boat, he started rowing.
Fox leans over the rail and goes, "Are you still hitting it?" And he notices the boat is not there anymore.
Oh, you would see it coming back to you.
The boat is coming directly back towards you, and no one's reacting because they all just hear the sound of like a hammer hitting a rock.
And Sox just leans against the rail and he goes, "Oh dear."
It's at this point that everybody kind of starts to realize that the sound is incorrect, and everybody all the crewmates start kind of looking around and down. The sound is coming from all around you.
Lotus is just gonna grab the shirt of Dolus.
Do I notice anything on the rock?
The rock does not seem like typical stone. It has the gray look of rock on the outside, but as you turn it over, it chipped off like shale, but it doesn't have the nice smooth texture that you'd expect from the rock. It's kind of bumpy and grainy.
Could I make an Arcana check to see if I knew what it was?
Yeah, go ahead and roll an Arcana check.
I'm gonna say that I don't know what it was. It's a solid 8.
Oh, yeah. You don't know what that was. Oh my gosh, that's funny. So 1 second, pulling a few things up here. So, as everybody's attention is suddenly drawn by this sound, because it is big all around you, and it almost sounds like it's getting louder and louder and closer, even though you cannot pinpoint a direction. Eggold gets the boat really, really quickly right to where it needs to be, and he tosses you one of the lines to pull it up as he ties one off real quick.
Eggold, listen to me on this. Now, what if this is the safest place to be and not on the big one?
Eggold turns
What are
back
you
and
going to
goes,
go after first?
Eggold turns back and goes, so your idea is we just sit here in the water while this is happening?
Well, you're going to be sitting in the water on that, which is much bigger and much more noticeable. Or we'll be sitting in the water on this one, and we can kind of observe what happens.
He sits there like mid-tying the knot, and he goes, you make a very good point. And he just lets go of the knot half-tied.
Well, let's still prepare to pull ourselves up if we need to, but let's stay here and wait and see what happens.
He grabs it and he just pulls it. Up on deck, Lorelai starts shouting orders, and all of the cannons get manned and readied and pointed out in every direction.
Taking my spear. Just kind of looking around.
They almost shove you and Dolus out of the way as they ready cannons up on deck. And Lorelai draws a saber from on her back and one of her flintlocks. And Harmon pulls his revolver out and spids it. He goes, ah! These are the drums of the deep.
And Socks turns to Harmon and goes, I'm gonna ask you kindly not to shoot me this time.
Harmon goes, I just shoot, boy!
We really gotta talk about that. and Socks readies a firebolt just in case.
I'll ready an Eldritch Blast.
Dolus doesn't ready anything. He just slowly takes his glove off and puts it in his pocket.
Okay.
Still holding that fishing pole.
As you're all readying and everything, Archbold kind of backs up next to Socks and he goes, so, should I do stuff when the time comes, or, Ah! He's gone! He's gone!
Welcome back.
He's back!
Wait.
Motherfucker.
There we go.
Hey, Ella.
So,
Yeah,
Socks
so
turns to Archibald.
Number
and
6.
goes, you can copy every spell I do, except if it involves teleportation. Got it?
Kind of nods, and he's like, okay, no teleport. Got it.
There you go.
I'd just like to say also, as everyone starts like readying up, Dolus will like pull out the fishing rod, the line, and just like put it down on the ground.
He pulls the line out, reels it up real quick, and just sets the fishing pole.
See, I like to imagine
he pulls out the
He
line.
wraps it around. You wrap this fishing wire around the fishing pole and
ground.
set it down on the ground. Okay. As you are all readying and preparing, it just gets louder and louder, and thum and thum and thum and thum and
I'm getting ready to dodge.
nothing.
Whatever.
It's just suddenly dead quiet. You can't hear anything. Even the waves stop. There is no wind. Nothing is happening. You can't even hear the slight lopping of water at the bottom of it.
Dolus,
Yes.
this is giving me the heebie-jeebies.
The what?
Loaded, Dolus, zoinks.
Jinkies.
Jeez.
Dolus just kind of like holds Lotus's hand.
You're muted.
Muted.
So.
Been muted. Ah.
As you're all sitting there in the silence looking around, I would like Kieran, make a perception check with advantage.
With advantage.
You're all looking around.
Ooh, natural 20 for a 22.
Fantastic. So as you start glancing around, looking at everything, everybody's sort of getting ready and preparing in their own way, but you sort of not necessarily in the group and getting ready with anyone or about anything, are more looking around and aware. And you start seeing at the tops of some of the nearest pillars, you start seeing figures standing up. And they're these sort of bulkier humanoid looking figures, but a few of them have more arms than a human should have.
Everybody, top of the rocks, weird people, many arms, very large, and probably coming this way. Up there.
That's like how I would write that down as my notes in literature class.
That's how I extend my
People with
essays.
many arms.
The moment
In that order.
The moment that Kieran points at one of them, a trident comes soaring down at you. And let me see real quick. And slams into the deck at your feet.
Jesus.
I would like everyone to roll initiative.
Yo, what?
Oh,
What is happening? Oh, that's not a good roll.
Oh,
Neither
my.
for me.
That is 14.
That is. Ooh.
1 second here.
I got a 22.
Ooh. Got a 9.
Got a 9.
I think I rolled 2
Didn't
nat
roll that
20s.
well.
Dolus had a 22.
Yeah.
Lotus, what did you have? 10.
55.
Twink, what you got?
15.
Noah.
14.
14, and then I have to make a few rolls here.
I can suggest this, but also Dolus knows Gust. We could have done like a level 14 Gust.
But
I
you
know
didn't.
Gus would win.
But
and I
you
could have,
Yeah.
I could
I
have
was like, I don't.
wasted a spell slot before this combat and made a
Yeah.
5-foot thing of open air that would immediately, I assume, get covered up.
I was gonna assume Archbold. Archbold would have helped.
Could have. Yeah, ask, boy. Yeah.
I
don't
didn't
think
And
Lorelai
currently,
would allow that.
and currently, there's only one character that knows he can amplify spells.
It's just-
I know he could do some weird because I
But who's the only person who
brain
knows
melted.
what his spells do?
I mean, you
Nope,
know
sucks.
specifically what it does, but I think we all kind of have an idea that he did Misty Step and we went 300 feet forward.
Oh,
Like, we all kind of have an idea that he did something
And-
like that.
and Shillelagh, my Shillelagh from the Weird Dimension, had a thing to it, so I would remember.
Okay. So,
And help.
Dolus, you're first. You see the trident come slamming down at the deck near Kieran, and your eyes shoot up, and you see on the top of the 3 pillars surrounding you just these big figures.
Right. I am just going to, I guess, walk forward, take a couple steps forward, and I'm going to aim and hold my action of an Eldritch Blast to see if any of them shoot anything else at us.
So you're gonna Eldritch Blast as a reaction if they do?
Yeah.
Okay. You walk up, and your hand seems to charge with magic as you aim it up at the nearest pillar.
Just holding it out as a fist with like the ring there.
Up next, then, if you don't have anything else, is Twink down in the rowboat.
Twink's gonna take a look around and see if there's anything in the water.
Make a perception check with disadvantage because of the fog.
Disadvantage.
Yeah.
Fuck, that was a good roll too. Oh, that's still a good roll. 19. I rolled 17 and 18.
Hey, fantastic. So you see a number of dark spots kind of appearing in the water around the boat.
It appears I was mistaken. We need to get up as fast as we can. And I'm going to start bringing the boat up, hoisting it up. Yeah.
Well, so I'm just gonna jump to it because Eggles is after Socks in turns, but let's just say he's going with you. He's going. And now Socks, it's your turn.
Am I able to identify what these are?
Make a perception check to see if you can see them through the fog.
That's an 18 plus 5.
You immediately recognize Sahuagin, which I'm sure you don't know what that is. But give me one moment to put that in stuff that is currently relevant.
So Sahuagin are fucking amazing.
Though that is Sahuagin. They are big. They are big, scaly fishmen who have either 2 or 4 arms that regularly wield tridents and can.
Are they?
Let's not spoil what they can do.
Sentient?
Yeah, to an extent. They're not the smartest bunch, but they you know.
Are they able to be reasoned with? Is what I'm asking. Would I know if they're able to be reasoned with?
You would have a general idea of that, yes, and they can. They are a society, and they are intelligent. They're just a little,
And what do they speak?
They typically speak, Common, Abyssal, or Aquan, so Primordial.
Great, I know one of those. And Socks kind of looks up at them and goes, "We don't mean any harm. I promise. We're just trying to get Shadesteppe."
As you shout that, do you want to do anything else, or is that your turn?
He's actually going to dismiss the firebolts from his hand.
Okay, so you just dismiss the firebolts, hold your hands up, and shout that message out. And now, it is the crew's turn. Lorelai shouts for all the cannons to go up, to aim up, and they all aim up at the pillars. None of them fire yet. And Harmon goes, "Fishmen and bird kids. It's a great day!" Eggles is still pulling the boat up.
That was the name of my band. Fishmen and Bird Kids.
Fishmen and bird kids. It's
Shark Boy and Lava Girl.
Lotus, you're up.
Does Lotus hear Socks yelling that?
Yes.
In common?
Yes.
I don't speak any of their other languages.
Noticing that nobody's doing anything, she's just gonna set her action to dodge.
Okay, so
Just
Lotus
in
kind
case.
of readies herself. And this is their turn now. So, let's see. Lotus, Dolus, you are down on the main deck. Kieran, Archbold, and Socks are up on the helm back. Twink is currently desperately pulling himself up in a rowboat. And so, Lotus, as you ready your spear, the motion is immediately recognized. And
Lotus ready to dodge.
well, she ready to dodge. She got ready to dodge. And so as you are getting ready, let me check something real quick here. Forgive me, I have 30 tabs open.
It's all good.
This is why I need more screens.
Also, those of us who are holding actions, unless we fizzled them, we would still have those reactions.
So they are still held. Yes.
Okay, sorry.
So, Lotus, as you get ready to dodge, a trident comes soaring at you. And you do dodge. But it slams into the deck right where you were. Dolus, that would proc your Eldritch Blast, so make a ranged attack at the nearest pillar. You are muted.
I just said okay. That is a 19.
19. Roll for damage.
Okay. It's 1d10. 6.
6. Does your Eldritch Blast push? And do you want it to push?
It does not push.
Does not push. Okay. So an Eldritch Blast just slams into one of the fishmen high above you. And immediately all of them start slamming their tridents and chanting.
Also procs my reaction for Eldritch Blast.
Okay. Then you also make a ranged attack. Gotta love reactions.
18.
So good. Wow.
18. That hits. Roll for attack.
Yay, double
13.
warlocks.
13.
13. Your attack slams into the same Sequagan right after it got hit by Dolus, and it falls off the pillar and splashes into the water really loud, and it floats up to the top. And
we
they
offered.
only chant louder and start banging harder. Kieran, it is actually your turn now.
Okay. Well, we did offer. Well, Socks offered. And another bonus action. Can I? Yeah, I can. Bonus action Hex. So I'll like reach into my pouch, pull out an Eye of Newt, like held up there, and like hex one of the ones like I can see.
Okay.
And
So
then
you hex the nearest one on top of the nearest pillar. After you blasted that one off, has 4 more still on it. So you hex one of the 4.
from my last attack, can I tell if the fog offers them cover of any sort?
The fog, because you can see their silhouettes clearly, they're close enough. It
Yeah.
does not offer cover.
Okay, so I'll Eldritch Blast again.
Okay, make a ranged attack against the one with hex.
15.
15, that hits. Roll for damage.
Okay. D6 and 1d10. 6. 11 damage.
11 damage. Is that with hex?
That was with X.
Okay, so you blast the one that is hexed, and it kind of screeches, but it doesn't fall. Who is after Kieran? The ultimate question. The only person after Kieran, well, there are 2 of them actually. The only people after Kieran are Lorelai and Archbold. And Lorelai, having seen that trident fly, assumes it's popping off, boys and girls. So she's gonna make a ranged attack. She misses. That's natural. That's a natural 2. I'm really glad it's not a natural 1. She pulls her flintlock and fires and completely misses the Sahuagin up on the pillar, and then shouts to fire the cannons. So everybody immediately is getting ready to fire their cannons. And then Archibald, on his turn, turns to Socks and goes, "So diplomacy's out."
I guess so.
And he goes, "Does that mean I get to fight?"
How much magic do you have stored up?
And he's like, level 6?
Good to know.
And then he immediately, give me 1 second, I get to look at all of
Prestidigitation.
Prestidigitation. No. He is going to cast Mind Sliver at level 6 on one of them. And they do not succeed that saving throw. So one of the Sahuagin of those 4 on that pillar just shrieks in pain and immediately drops dead.
What?
He can store spells?
What do you mean store spells?
Mind Sliver's a spell that Socks used a day ago.
It was the last one.
He doesn't store them. He uses spells of people he is within eyeshot of. He can use any of the 3 spellcasters' spells that are currently on the deck, and he has to use them at max spell slot level. which his max slot level just went up from 6 to 7. Because he just cast a 6. There is a trade-off, though, which we will all probably see this fight.
That's
And that's Archibald's turn, which means it is looping all the way back around to Dolus.
So, I guess Dolus will just cast another Eldritch Blast at like the same rock, like the group of them that are on the same rock.
Okay, make a ranged attack.
That's a 10.
That does not hit.
Well,
You want to do anything else on your turn?
Dolus would like to stand in front of Lotus, as to like if anything comes at them, it would hit him instead.
Okay,
Dolus,
so you put your motion directly between Lotus and the nearest pillar, and you spread your arms and your wings as if you're ready to block anything coming her direction. But that also completely blocks her.
Dolus just kind of peeks from under his arm and is like,
Twink, it's your turn, and I'll say you use your bonus action to complete pulling the boat up. The last bit with Eggle's help. What would you like to do?
Seeing the tridents on the deck, Dolus covering up Lotus, I'm going to use my action to summon my guardian armor.
Okay. Twink looks around and sees all the signs of combat, pounds his fists together, and is just immediately covered in the glowing, pretty armor that you guys had seen yesterday, a month ago.
Yesterday, a month ago.
Yesterday, a month ago, the best.
That'll be my
save.
friend. What I'm going to do is I'm gonna look to see if I can find a cannon that's not occupied, or where someone doesn't look very confident at, and I'm going to try to take that cannon from them.
That is not hard to do at all. You walk over to a cannon that is one of the only cannons on the deck that is manned by one person, and I'll let you use your dialogue here if you want.
I'm going to need you to leave that cannon to me, son.
Okay. That will be the end of your turn. And with Twink's turn done, Socks, you're up.
He turns to Archibald and goes, hit him with everything you got. And he casts Magic Missile at the remaining 3 on the pillar that they can see.
Oh boy! That's exciting. Okay. Let me run over to Magic Missile. What level are you casting Magic Missile at?
Just level 1. I don't need to cast it at higher.
Alright. Well, they don't have anything to block that, so you get to roll for damage.
Yep. That's going to be a 3, a 3, and a 4. And distribute that amongst the fuckers as you want. It's 1 for each of them.
So each of them takes a dart of magical energy that comes flying out from around Socks. 2 of them, first time they're getting hit, they kind of stagger, but they just kind of screech down at you and ready their tridents. The third one was the one that got hit with Kieran's Eldritch Blast and looks a little worse for the wear, but it's still present. And now it's the crew's turn, so we get cannon fire. Hooray! That's not one. The cannons all go off immediately, but between the fog and the shock of the sudden sneak attack, none of the shots land. In fact, a couple of them slam into the pillars and just shower down this strange rock across the deck, and all the crew members kind of have to shield themselves. 2 of the cannons are down because they got smashed by rocks.
Somehow just as useful as Harmon's crew.
Up next is the Swagian, hooray, who now that combat has officially begun, immediately out of the water, a good dozen of them start clambering up the side of the ship. And Twink at the cannon, you would immediately notice the sounds as they started clawing their way up the wood. And the three that are on the pillar are all going to make ranged attacks with their tridents. Well, that first one didn't hit. Socks, you have a trident slam into the deck at your feet. Just barely missing. Kieran, in response to that Eldritch Blast, the one that is injured, throws its trident perfectly home at you, and I get to roll damage. That was a 19 to hit, by the way. So your shield will not save you. No shield spells will save you. And as far as damage goes, ooh.
I hate to hear that.
I mean,
It's my favorite
it's the
sound.
maximum it could do, but the maximum it can do is 7. So a trident slams into your gut, and it hits you for 7 piercing damage.
I have to roll concentration for Hex.
You do have to roll concentration for Hex.
That makes. It's 17.
17, it makes it. You manage to concentrate through the impact. It does hurt like a bitch, though. And the last one rolls. The last one, that's a 4 to hit, so that does not hit at all. Twink, as you move across the deck to the cannons, a trident lands where you were just kind of trotting past. And then, on to the next turn, we've got... This wagon. That is Lotus. Lotus, it's your turn. You are currently standing behind Dolus, who is fully spread out to try and prevent anything from hitting you, but also you cannot see anything around Dolus.
I want to step to the side and I want to see how far the 3 Saugans are.
Okay. You step to the side and you can immediately tell that the pillar they're on is only about 25 feet away, but they are up a significant height. So it's probably like 40 feet.
I'm gonna look over to Dolus and just say, "Back me up," and then she's gonna take flight.
Okay. You are using...
I love Dolus protecting this extremely capable melee user.
Yeah.
So that means
With
that
an
by
18
protecting,
AC.
he is constantly in the way.
Yeah.
You can make it to the top of the pillar on this turn.
I do. I want to get to.
Okay. So you land right on the top of the pillar in the middle of these 3 Sahuagin. What you gonna do?
Well, I don't want to be in the middle of the 3. I want to. Which one of them?
It's a small pillar. It's only about like a 15 foot in any direction. The most injured one is the closest one.
I want to use my spear to attack the closest one.
Okay, make a melee attack.
That's an 11.
That's an 11. That does not hit.
Flurry of blows.
You're gonna use flurry of blows. All right, your spear comes down missing, and now make your flurry of blows attacks.
That is 16. And would I be... Is it possible to just use one flurry of blows and then go to another one and use flurry of blows on the other one? Or does flurry of blows have to be on one?
You know, that is not something I have ever actually dealt with. So give me one moment to read that. I've never had a monk party member that I've DM'd for, actually. So this is interesting.
I've never played as a monk.
Hooray!
You would have to use the logic that it's one bonus action for 2 strikes.
Yeah, it's a bonus action for 2. Yeah, so it's gonna have to be on the same one.
Separate strikes.
Yep. So
So
you're gonna bop bop,
Yeah, bop, bop.
and you rolled high enough to hit. So roll for damage.
I don't remember if I rolled only one. Hold on. That is a 7.
Okay.
And let me check if I actually rolled. Okay, I can bop one more time because I didn't roll the other one. That is a 14.
7 and a 14 total, or a 7 and a 14? 7 to 14 is impossible.
It's a 16 and a 14 in terms of damage. Need that. And then you said 16 hit, so 16 was 7 damage.
Okay, 7 damage. So
does the 14
how much
hit?
damage are you? They both hit. How much damage does the second bop
7
do?
plus 5.
7 plus 5. And it's to the already injured one. So you bop, and on your second bop, it goes tumbling off the pillar, totally limp down into the water.
Bye.
You want to use the last of your motion?
Am I within 5 feet of the other?
You are not. They are. The two of them are towards the other side of the pillar.
And just from me looking, is it like a trident, a spear?
They
Is it
both
just
have
something that
tridents.
is thrown? Okay. I think I'm just gonna stand there and
Okay.
yeah, I'm just standing there.
Then on to the next turn after Lotus is Kieran.
Bonus action, I will swap my hex to somebody else. Because he got murked.
Yeah.
I'll swap hex. Oh, and I didn't declare what hex is on intelligence. And second verse, same as the first. I'm gonna use Eldritch Blast again.
Eldritch Blast, make a ranged attack. Let's say you just swapped your hex to one of the other two up on the pillar of Lotus.
13.
13? 13 hits.
Hits. 12 plus hex is 13.
13. So you an Eldritch Blast comes soaring up at it while it's staring down at Lotus and just cracks it in the side of the face. And it kind of stumbles a little and then shrieks at the girl in front of it, not thinking to like look down at you. Would you like to do anything? If you can. You do anything else on your turn, Kieran?
My turn. No.
Okay, fantastic. Then last up, but certainly not least, we've got Lorelai and Archbold. Lorelai makes a ranged attack. That's 4, so that does not land again. She puts away the first flintlock, pulls the second, and fires and misses, and just goes, "Damn it! I can't see anything in this fog." Archibald, however, is now up.
Also, does this mean Harmon's not an initiative?
He's an initiative with the crew.
Okay.
I felt like not having you guys get shot randomly this time around.
Thanks.
Say he's helping the crew
Thank
with
you.
the cannon. Thank you.
That explains a lot why they missed.
You know, you have a really valid point there.
Harm's like, just fire.
Just do it. Just shoot randomly.
At
It'll
the
be awesome.
At the end of initiative, he's going to be tied to a cannon.
He's gonna be in a cannon.
So, seeing the many Sahuagin now climbing up the side of the ship, Archibald is going to cast Armor of Agathis on himself at 7th level. So
What is
you
that,
just-
like 50 HP?
It's the temporary points called damage increase. Yeah, so it increases by 5 with each time. So it's 5 times 7. 35. He gains 35.
Hit them,
temp
they
hit points.
died.
Oh my god.
And you
Anyone
just
hits
watch
them, they
this
die instantly.
huge armor with spikes form around this tiny teenage wood elf, and he just readies his fists. And that loops us all the way back around to Dolus. It's your turn now.
I would like to turn to Archibald and just go, when I said hit him with what all you got, I meant magic missile.
I would like to ask, you said that, did you say we could see that they were climbing up the side, or specifically someone saw?
Twink can hear and see them because he's at the edge of the boat. You can probably hear them at this point because they'd be getting a little close to the top, but
Mhm.
you can't see them yet.
Okay. I would like to run over to the side of the boat, like where Twink is, and look down, see them like climbing up, and I just like straight down fire an Eldritch Blast.
I will say, because they're from your angle, they're basically flat. We're gonna call it half cover. So, but make a ranged attack.
Wait, so what? Remind me what half cover does.
It increases their AC.
Oh, okay. 17.
17 half cover increases by
3, I think?
3. Yeah, because 3/4 cover increases
It's
by
5.
Okay. Yep. Oh no, it's a +2.
Oh.
And you rolled 17. That hits.
Okay. D10. 5.
Okay. So one of the dozen or so Sahuagin that are climbing up the side of the boat, you just point at the closest one and Eldritch blast it right in the face.
Mhm.
It does not seem to do much. It's kind of just pissed off at you now. It
Right.
begins climbing faster. It begins.
How much movement did I expend
You
to get
only
rid?
would have used about 5 feet to get to the edge of the ship.
Okay. And how far away is Lotus up on the pillar?
Lotus is about 40 feet up in the air, so you'd have to use flight.
Right. I will.
And I will say, we'll basically, since your flying is double your walking, we'll say whenever you use walking, you're using double that movement on flight. So you have 40 feet of flight if you want to fly over.
Okay. So I'll fly over to the pillar where Lotus is because she asked for him to back her up.
You land on the pillar next to Lotus, and across from these two Sahuagin that are just kind of screeching at her.
Mhm. And that'll. Hello. That'll just be my turn.
Twink, you're up. And you're on a cannon.
Twink's gonna use his from looking at Dolus and where he attacked, he's going to aim the cannon to where he thinks the Swagon's gonna come up over the edge. He's gonna roll it back and lower it down and ready a shot for when he sees it pop up and over the ledge.
Woo! That's exciting. I love
so
cannons. I love cannons. I'm so glad this is happening. All right. After Twink, Socks, you're up.
So all of them are currently no, there's still the 2 on the pillar, huh?
There are still 2 on the pillar, but the sound of many more climbing the side of the ship is present.
Okay, Socks is gonna go to the nearest railing and see how many are climbing up, basically within range of him.
So you walk over to the side and you look down and you see a little more than a dozen of them climbing up the side of the ship. Great. Do you want to make a perception check to find the exact number?
Sure.
Okay, that'll be your bonus action if you want to do that, because you're taking a moment. You're taking them.
That's 18 plus 5.
Okay, there are currently 14 Sahuagin climbing the side of the ship.
Cool.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's something that happens. Yeah, let's just go ahead and throw another magic missile at 3 of them on the boat.
3 of them on the boat. You're on the back right now, so yeah. Make attack damage.
Fucking shit, man. All right, that's 5. That's 4. And that's 2.
And that's 2.
5, 4, and 2.
Distribute however I would like.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, currently on your section of the boat, there are about 4 of them that look like they would make it up to the helm section. And 3 of them get magic missiles that just appear above you, slamming down into their face.
I tried to talk.
They just kind of snarl up at you. And after Socks, we get the crew firing the cannons again. -2 cannons now, though. Let's roll for if any of them hit.
No.
They do! Woo! So now you get to roll for damage against the only two they could shoot at currently, which are the ones up on the pillar with Lotus and Dole. That's a 5, 4. That's 9. On that side of the ship, there would be 4 cannons minus the one Twink is using. So 3 cannonballs just fly up and slam into one of the Sahuagins up on the pillar with you. And the first one knocks it aside, the second one knocks it again, and the third one takes its head clean off. And it just falls down next to the other one up there with you both.
That was cool.
And Harmon goes, I've never missed a cannon shot in my life!
Except for the other two.
Oh my god. After the crew, we have the Sahuagin. So the last one on the pillar is going to immediately rush up to Lotus and make a melee attack with its spear. Lotus, your AC is
18.
18. Of course it is. And that's a plus that. That does not hit.
Monk shit.
It makes a stab with its trident, but you really deftly sidestep it, and it slams into the ground. However, it is then going to bite you. So, and it gets advantage on that because you are within range. And
That's
that
advantage?
it gets advantage on melee attacks with its bite and its claws.
I see. Okay.
It also, I will spoil this for you, it will get advantage on any of you with melee attacks if you have less than full health. And that's all its melee attacks. So, that bite is... Actually, I rolled 18, and then it's a +3. So...
It hits.
That hits, and that is 1d4 plus 1. And that is 3, so that's 4. It hits you, it bites you for 4 damage. It just clamps down on your wing as you step to the side. And then let's say, on this turn, let's say 5 of the Sahuagin are going to make it up over the side of the boat. 2 at the helm, 3 at the main deck. One of them, which is immediately going to get shot in the face by a cannon by Twink. Twink, make a ranged attack.
Oh, yes. With my firearms proficiency, that's going to be a 19.
That's a 19. And these are small cannons. They're swivel cannons. They're not the big rolling ones like that are down in the main hold. So
can I say something as I fire? As it pops its head over, Twink's gonna go, sorry, lad, this is invite only.
Douche. I'll roll for the cannon damage. And that is a 5 plus 4, so that is 9. And it does force damage. So you hit this thing solidly in the chest with a cannonball about yay big. And it just launches it off the boat that it had just climbed up back into the water. The other 2 that made it up are going to make melee attacks against Dolus.
Wait, what? Dolus is on the pillar.
Oh, Dolus flew up. That's right. So they can only make melee attacks against Twink.
Bring it on.
Bring it on.
Fuck me up, Chief.
I only get stronger.
That first one is 17.
That hits.
That hits. It is going to be attacking with its spear, but it is multi-attack, so it is going to attack twice. It's going to make 1 spear and 1 bite. So let's see if the bite lands. That's an 8. The bite does not land. That spear is going to do 1d8 plus 1. It's 7, so you get whomped with a spear for 7. And then a bite misses. The second one, that's a 10. The spear does not hit. And that's a 9. The spear does not hit. So the other one, with you getting kind of shoved back by the first one's spear, completely misses both of his attacks.
Got it.
Up on the back deck, Socks, One of them's about to attack you. That plus plus 3, so that is a 14 to hit.
That's just barely enough.
Just barely enough. And for the bite, well, that's a 2, so that does not hit. I'm like, we don't even have to talk about that. We don't have to talk about that one. It's gonna be another D8 plus 1. 5 plus 1, you get hit for 6 damage.
Ow.
The other one that climbed up the back is gonna try and attack Archibald. And let's pray for his sake, he does not. He hits Archibald.
You could get one shot by that armor.
It's about to be awesome! So, chipped off of Archibald's many temporary hit points is... Wow, 9 damage. That's a full roll. So, he gets 9 taken off of the 35. However, all of the spikes on the armor immediately go sing out and just impale this Sahuagin and immediately kill it, and it drops to the deck. And Archibald just kind of goes, "This is awesome!"
Socks looks at Archibald and goes, "Alright, you know what, fair."
Alright, Lotus, you're up. You just watched one of them get its head taken off by a cannon.
And the other one bit me, so I'm gonna, as an unarmed strike, bring my leg up and try to knee in the face.
Okay, yeah. Make a melee attack.
17.
17 is gonna hit.
And that is a 6 for damage.
That is 6. This one has not been hit up until now, so it's the first hit. It kind of stumbles a little, but it seems perfectly fine.
As a monk, I can use my bonus action to just bop it, right? Yeah, I can make one unarmed
you
strike.
can make another unarmed strike.
I wanna.
You gonna hit it again?
I'm gonna knee it in the face, and I'm gonna bring my elbow down.
All right, roll for the attack, and then if it hits, we'll see.
25. There's another 6
I think
damage.
that hits, Chief.
That hits. That's another 6 damage. You elbow it, and it kind of stumbles away. And as it goes, you bring your elbow down on its back, and it. With such a high roll, I'm gonna say you knock it prone. I'm just gonna yell, "You ruffled my feathers!" Oh my god.
That's Lotus's way of saying, "You motherfucker!"
Ruffled my feathers.
Kieran, unless Lotus wants to use any of her movement. Kieran, you're up. There is one Sahuagin up on the rear helm deck with you, Socks, and Archibald.
You'd need to tell me this, but did the one I have my hex on die up there? Was he the one that died?
He was not. He is the one getting whopped.
Okay. And so I'm just gonna spin around to the ones on the deck, and yeah, I'll just Eldritch Blast again. Third time's the charm.
All right. Roll ranged attack.
17.
That hits.
Hex isn't here. 12.
I'm just gonna. 12. You hit it for 12. It stumbles back again. It shrieks at you. It's been hit a little because it got hit by Socks, and now it's been hit by you. It looks like it's having not the best day, but it's still up.
And I want to use any of my movement to just stay on the helm, but back away from them a little bit more.
Okay, so the boat is just about 30 feet across, and you were right about in the middle. So we're gonna say you use 10 movement to just back up towards the other opposite side of the ship.
That's the end of my turn.
Lorelai is up. She's going to make a melee attack on that same Sahuagin with her saber. And that attack hits. She hits for the first time in this combat. And now she gets to roll for damage. I just dropped that, but fuck it, we'll use it. That is 3 with the saber pony. So she slashes down, but with it stumbling from the Eldritch Blast, she only gets a glancing blow in. This Sahuagin looks like it's having a really rough day. And now we'll move on to Archbold.
You know, she may not be accurate, but at least she's not shooting us.
It's true. She does. This captain doesn't shoot you, and we'll consider that a victory.
She's accurate, but not precise.
Exactly. Wait, what did I just say? Wait, what did I just...
The ring isn't complex, it's just a little complicated. Wait, what did I just say?
Haha. Fantastic. Okay. Archibald does not have any melee attacks, and this thing is currently within range of him and Sucks. So he is going to, with disadvantage, cast a firebolt. At 8th level. That first one misses.
First?
Well, because I'm rolling twice because disadvantage.
Oh,
And it's the first one. I mean, I guess it wouldn't have mattered. The first one missed. I should have just gone by that. I realize now. It's dumb. I shouldn't have even rolled twice. Yeah, no, he misses. So he conjures up a firebolt. You see this huge ball of fire appear in his hand, and then just go firing off past the Sahuagin into the fog until eventually it must hit some pillar in the distance because you see a big flash of light. And he kind of just goes, ah!
We'll talk about accuracy later.
And we loop all the way back around to Dolus. You're up. You're on the pillar with this Sahuagin.
So the Sahuagin is currently prone on the ground, right?
It is prone on the ground. Lotus knocked it on its ass.
Okay, so
Well, actually, on its face.
Dolus is gonna walk up to the Sahuagin, and he's gonna kind of like crouch down near it, and he's gonna pull out his dagger and stab it into its shoulder, like right into its shoulder blade here. Not trying to kill it right now. He's just like doing it like right here.
That's so mean.
Ritualistically.
Make a melee attack.
That is 19.
Well, that hits.
And Dolus. Well, so am I rolling? Do I roll
for
damage?
damage.
Yeah. It's a.
You said you didn't want to kill it, so we'll say it's non-lethal damage.
So that is 1d4 plus 2. That is 4.
You stab it for 40. This Sahuagin looks really messed up. It got bopped twice really solidly by Lotus, and you are now driving a knife into its shoulder.
Yeah.
It kind of flinches and screeches at you.
And then Dolus will take. So he stabbed it with his right hand, and with his left hand, the one that's like all burnt and magical, he's going to grab its face and just lean down and say, "Call off your attack."
Oh, that's fun. We are moving down to Twink at the cannon, just having gotten wonked once.
Ah, yes. Twink is gonna punch it in the face.
All right, make a melee attack.
With the Thunder Gauntlets, obviously.
Thunder Gauntlets.
24?
Yeah, well, 24 hits. 20.
Where are my D8s?
Where are your D8s?
Ah, found one.
Your punches
There
are
are your
D8s?
Yeah, they are. With plus
With
4
plus
modifier.
4.
Yeah, that's
magic punches.
That's 8 damage.
That's 8 damage.
8 thunder damage.
Yup. This Sahuagin stumbles back and now has disadvantage on any attack rolls if it attacks anything other than Twink.
Sure does. And then I'm using my bonus action for my defensive field.
Okay, so you cast Defensive Field. and you get 3 temp hit points.
That'll be my turn.
Okay, fantastic. I love that Twig just decks a fishman in the I'm assuming in the gut because he can't reach the fang. No offense to the small man. Socks, you're up.
What do we have left?
There is still one Sahuagin up with you. It is a little worse for the wear currently. And there are still some climbing the side of the boat. Only 5 made it over on their turn.
Socks is going to walk up to the one, walk around Archbold and go, "We need to get you one of these." And he's going to whack it with the quarterstaff.
Make a melee attack!
I need to see what my... There it is. That is a 16.
16 hits.
2 hands.
Ooh, yay. 2-hand damage. Roll for 2-hand damage.
Okay. That is 4.
Is that with the plus? Because 2 hands is +1?
5.
Hooray! This thing having already been hit by some of your magic missiles, a pretty powerful Eldritch Blast, slashed with a sword. You crack it in the face, and it is barely hanging on. Its face is kind of bashed in from that quarterstaff, and it's bleeding really heavily. But it's still alive!
Did we ever decide if I can use Quickened after using a melee attack?
We did, and the answer was no.
Damn it. Then that's me.
Mr. DM, can you check your DMs?
Yes, I did check my DMs. I just didn't type anything, because I'm bouncing, I'm sorry. Alright, so then, after Socks, we have the crew going again with the cannons. There's only one thing they can point at currently. A few of them immediately abandon the cannons, and seeing you guys sort of handling it and not being super adept at melee combat, kind of back off. And the one still on the cannon misses, so a cannonball comes sailing up between Lotus and Dolus and just sort of flies off into the fog. And if you trace back its origins, you look and you see Harmon on a cannon going, "Yeah!"
Harmon, I can't catch that one. Actually, I probably could. I want to try now.
Hooray! It's the Swagin's turn. And another 5 make it up over the side of the deck. This time, all of them down on the main deck with Twink. Twink, you're about to get just swarmed. And they all have advantage because you don't have max health anymore. That's a nat 20.
Go for it. Go for it.
This one's gonna critically hit you with the spear. It only does 6 damage though, luckily. Luckily I did not roll well. So yeah, you get another spear to the side, or a trident to the side. And then it bites. And that's a 19. But again, I only rolled 1. And then with the bite, it is 1 plus 1. So you take 2 extra points of damage on top of that spear.
Got it.
Then you're going to have another one attack you. That's a nat 1. So it goes to attack you, and it, because the other one lunged forward with a bite, it stabs that first one in the neck.
Perfectly balanced as all things should.
Perfectly balanced as all. And it does a solid massive amount of damage to the first one, which is now kind of staggering there with a trident stuck in its neck. It is, however, going to then bite you. That is a 12 to hit for the bite. It does not hit. It misses its bite. We'll say the other ones are, we'll say one more attacks you, and then the other 2 attack the crew. so I don't feel like just rolling to constantly attack Twink this turn. That is a 15 to hit. Another spear misses. Goes to bite. Got advantage. That's another 20.
Bring it on.
I love how ready Twink is for this. That is a 3 plus 1. That is 4 damage on the bite. Oh, doubled. Crit.
Double the dice.
Double the dice. So that is a 7 on the bite.
So that's how you're going to do crits.
Yes, double on the dice.
Okay. You're not going to double the amount of dice?
Here's a moment where I'm going to ask, would you guys prefer I just double the dice roll or roll the dice again?
On D&D Beyond, it rolls the dice again, so...
Okay.
Yeah,
We'll roll the
if
dice
you
again.
Double the dice.
2d8 instead of...
Got it.
I think also if you double the dice, you roll more usually. I don't know, some math.
Well,
You're supposed to.
okay. I'll just roll it again. It doesn't matter because I rolled the same thing, so it is 7
That's
still. So it is 7. I'm like, it doesn't matter because I rolled 3 again.
We're good.
Okay, then the other 2 attack the crew, so you are not being assaulted for a brief moment. And then we're gonna go to Lotus up on the rock with the currently stabbied Sahuagin that Dolus is threatening.
No kill?
Dolus turns kind of turns his head and goes, "If they comply, then no kill."
Okay. I'm within 5 feet of it, right? So it would get an attack opportunity on me if it chose to attack me?
It is prone, so it would not.
Okay, I'm just gonna fly off then.
Okay.
Gonna land back on the ship.
Okay.
Where are they? Where are the Sahagins?
There are 3 currently gathered around Twink. There are 2 attacking crew members further onto the deck. And then there is the one really beat up one up with all the other people.
Okay, I'm gonna basically land next to Twink, and I'm just gonna bop with my spear.
You're gonna bop, make a melee attack.
Doo-doo-doo. I'm not good with hitting my spear. That's a 14. Actually, that hits.
14 hits.
So that is a 6 for damage.
It's a 6 for damage.
It's one of the ones near Twink.
So you slash at the back of a Sahuagin that already has a trident in its neck. And it stumbles back, very injured. Very injured. Would you like to do anything else on your turn?
Hi, Twink! And I'm just gonna bop it with an unarmed strike.
Hit it with an unarmed strike. Make a melee attack.
Oh, that was almost a natural 20. That's an 8.
You go to bop it, but as it's stumbling around and with the boat kind of moving from all of the people, you just miss barely. You just...
Damn it.
Damn it. Kieran, you're up.
Okay, so I'm just gonna turn around and like jump on the railing, like overlooking the
Opposite side of the boat?
yeah, the where Twink and everybody is. And I will ba-da-ba-ba. Old reliable. Eldritch Blast again.
Alright. Make a ranged attack.
15 hit.
Only one you can hit. You hit it.
Yep. And that's 12 damage.
That the Swaggin up with you all currently takes an Eldritch Blast to the chest, and the chest already slashed and blasted, just kind of, and it falls down onto the deck, just dead.
I imagine splattering them all with more fish.
I mean, it's blood. It's fish blood, but it's blood. It's blood.
It's actually fish oil. It's really healthy for them.
It's really
Omega-3?
it's a good source of vitamin E. What do you want to do with the rest of your turn, Kieran? You still have all your movement and a bonus action.
I will drop a bonus action healing light into Twink. So Twink gets 6 health.
Fantastic. He kind of needed it. I mean, not really, but kind of needed it. All right. After Kieran, all we have on the rotation is Lorelai, who uses her movement to go to the edge and makes a shot at one of the Swagan. 15, that hits. And that does a solid 6 damage. So a bullet fires into one of the Swagan that's attacking the crew, and Lorelai shouts, "Get these damn fish off my boat!" And Archbold immediately says, "Got it!" And he is going to cast. Let's see what magic we rocking with.
Can we save them for dinner?
Let me see. That is a horrific question that I
Fish
really
people.
appreciate asking. I really
You think
appreciate
Walk's gonna say no?
I don't care what the fuck Walk says. I'm not eating fish people.
Lotus would eat fish people.
She is going to cast another magic missile. Now at level 9. Now at level 9.
It's just what. It's just what. Yeah, 9D or there's 9 darts. Yeah.
Magic
darts.
grappling gun.
He's getting
Wait.
there. He's getting there.
Wait, is it 9 darts? It's 10 darts, isn't it?
10, I
Oh
think.
yes, because every spell
Oh,
slot
no,
of
no, no.
second or higher adds another dart.
All right, so he gets 3, right? So
And
Yes.
it's a first level
3
spell.
plus,
Actually, what-
3 plus 8.
He gets 12. Or he gets 11.
3 plus 8? Yeah,
Cheaper
11.
is-
11 darts. There are currently 5 Swagan on the deck. Having heard her say, get these things off my boat, and having seen the 2 attacking the crew, he's going to focus 4 on each of them. And then the other 3 are going to hit 1 individually of the 3 that were just attacking Twink. This man is busted. This man... That's a 4, and we'll just say that's 3 4s on the first one. Or 4 4s on the first one. And then that's a 5, so we'll say that's 4 5s on the next one. Those 2 Swagan that were attacking the crew just get blasted away by 4 magic missiles each, drumming into them like a gun firing off repeatedly. They both fall to the deck dead. The other 3... That's 2. I'm saying the pluses with them. That's also 2, and that's 3. So the one with the trident in its neck takes 2 damage and just rolls over the edge of the boat dead. The other 2 get slammed into with magic missiles and are very angry. It's the first time they... And that brings us all the way back around to Dolus, who currently has a Swagan pinned down by the neck.
Question: are there still? Because you said there were 14 of them climbing up, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there's 4 more still on climbing on the side of the boat because
Yep.
they went up in 5s.
Yep.
So in that turn that just went by, the Sawagan that was intimidating didn't do anything.
No,
Um.
he just kind of hissed at you.
So I'm going to. Would I be able to kind of like get it upright, like kind of like force it upright, or would that
I would make you make a grapple on that, because you'd have to pull it up in a way that it's not going to you're gonna have to grab it and lift it up.
be right?
So if you want to attempt to grapple it, you can do that.
Okay, I'll try doing that.
Okay. Grappling is it is not bigger than you, so you can do that. So you have to make a strength check that is contested by another strength check.
Okay. So strength. That's 14 on my part.
Well,
Does that fail?
No, considering I was really expecting you to, since you have a -1 in
I rolled
strength.
15 minus 1.
Yeah, see, I rolled 7 plus 1.
Wow.
So you managed to force this injured Sahuagin up, and you kind of get him in a sort of a headlock as you still have the knife in his shoulder. He is now grappled. He is.
So Dolus just kind of is holding him by the neck, and he's making him like face the rest of his like.
You made him
like,
face the ship and the rest of
where all the people are, and he goes, you can see we are slaughtering your tribe here, and if you would like to escape remotely untouched with the 4 down there that aren't going to die immediately, call off your attack now. It is unfortunate for you that my sister left. And he puts up his fist like behind his back, like the fist with like the ring. Yeah.
Okay, and that is going to be Dolus's turn. Twink, you're up. And you just got healed. You're feeling a little flighty.
You're punching it.
You're punching it?
Yeah, the one that I punched before, if it's still alive. I don't know if it is or not.
It is not. That is the one that definitely died.
Cool.
So you got 2 in front of you that so far have only taken 2 points of damage, or one has taken 3 points of damage and one has taken 2.
All right, well, I'm going to punch the one that looks like it's hurt the worst.
Okay. Make a melee attack.
17?
17 hits.
Yeah.
Roll for damage.
12 damage.
You punch this. Twink takes a moment, readies himself up boxer style, and jumps up and does an uppercut to this thing. And then as you land, it kind of stumbles back, and it's feeling a little. It looks like it's feeling a little worse for the wear, but it's still up and ready to fight.
Then I'm gonna bonus action defensive field again.
All right, you get another 3 temp hit points. After Twink, we got Socks.
Okay, so
the only one that was up with you is dead.
What do we got left? There's the 4 still climbing.
There are the 4 still climbing, and there are the 2 that are currently between Lotus and Twink. And then there is the one that Dolus has in a chokehold.
Cool. I want to fire a firebolt at one of the ones on the deck.
Okay. The one that Twink just punched, or the other one?
Let's do the other one.
Okay. Roll a ranged attack. Right, because you're up and there is a railing, there is going to be quarter cover. So that is +1 AC.
Okay. Yeah. So that's an 18 to hit, and I would like to use my twin spell to split it.
Okay. You're gonna use twin spell?
Yeah.
Are you gonna target that second one that twin?
Oh yes, I am.
Okay, roll for damage.
I'm gonna roll for damage. It's 9. Do you want me to roll separately for the other one? Because it doesn't
specify. Let's say yes. Let's say it counts as another.
Are we saying roll for hit?
Roll for hit and roll for damage.
Yeah, right. That's another 18 actually.
Wow.
And then, but it's only 3.
But it's only 3. Okay. So, but this is also the one that has been attacked now by Twink and a magic missile from Archbold. So you hit it for 3. It's looking like it's hurt pretty bad. And then you hit You hit the other one that so far has only been hit with magic missile, and it also but you hit it a lot harder, and it seems okay though. It's been hurt a little, but it's aight. And that is the end of Sox's turn. Which means it's the crew's turn. I'm really tempted to make Harmon shoot a cannonball, the one that Dolus is holding. I'm really tempted.
Is he crazy enough to roll for it?
He gets stopped by the crew member who's with the other cannon with him. He does not. The crew all kind of stands readied now that they have been slaughtering many Sahuagin. They seem a bit more confident. They all kind of just ready themselves in case you guys can't handle it. And then it's the Sahuagin's turn. And before any of them do anything, the one that Dolus currently has a knife in shouts in common out, "Cease! Enough! They are not the ones." And all of the Sahuagin kind of just freeze. And the four that were climbing over, like right at the top, all kind of stop, and they all look at you, and they slowly go down over, and then you hear them drop into the water below.
Oh, so now you want to talk!
You are all out of initiative. The Sahuagins all lower their weapon.
Fish.
Twink really wants to punch him again.
Hello,
Hey, if you want to punch him, do it.
Do it. You
can do it.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
All right. The two Sahuagin on deck immediately, or the one Sahuagin on deck immediately backs away from you all and takes a knee, and the really injured one kind of just goes onto the deck, it just flops sitting as it's bleeding all over. The really injured one just kind of looks at you and goes, "No."
Pretty please.
There's 4 of them stuck into the deck. You could probably find one. They threw a lot of them and missed.
They did.
Let me take your French trident. And she goes off and tries to find one of the
You're
tridents.
Takes him out of the dead hand.
The Sahuagin's just sitting there, and he's like, "You are horrific creatures, all of you." And then he looks at Twig and he goes, "You most of all."
Sox yells down from the top deck, "You chose this fight! I tried to talk!"
The Sahuagin with the knife in his chest goes, "We did not think you were the ones that you are. There is another conjurer of mist."
Conjurer of what?
The mist.
The mist.
Oh.
The mist.
Come here.
Oh, on that, Twink's gonna go, "Oh, fuck, I forgot about the rock." And he's gonna go back and get the rock out of the rowboat.
He pulls the rock out of it. You pull the rock out of the rowboat without any issue. The rowboat looks like it's got some claw marks on it now, though.
Not my rowboat, I don't give a fuck.
Dolus, to the one that he's holding, is like, "So are you trying to tell me that you didn't do this?"
I'm assuming you're gesturing to the mist.
Yeah.
Yeah. He goes, "We do not have this magic known to us. It is an outsider, an intruder like you."
And you have no idea who this intruder is?
"We cannot see through the mist. It permeates everywhere, even below." And he gestures to the water.
Right. Of course it does.
Twink's gonna take that rock to that injured Sahuagin that was on the ground and called him a monster, and he's gonna say, "What can you tell me about this rock?"
And the Sahuagin goes, "Mother Stone." And kind of graces, really prettily. And then the one that is less injured goes, "These stones, they are supposed to be below. The intruder, he makes them rise, and he uses them for his evil magics.
Interesting.
Anybody got anything to say?
Socks turns to Lorelai and goes, well, now we know why no one recognizes it.
Lotus,
Do I find a trident?
you can find there are 4 of them stuck in the deck. You can take your pick.
I want all 4 of them.
Okay, so Lotus is currently rushing around picking tridents out of the wood.
Twink sees that and goes, we can make that into spearfishing later.
Fish! Okay.
The one with the knife in its neck is like, these are the ancestral weapons of my home. I would ask graciously that you return them.
The
I
rock.
want one.
Oh, he meant the tridents.
The tridents.
I want one.
I didn't know he was referring to Lotus.
Consider it a parting gift for your attack.
The one that's not injured goes, boom! You slaughtered us honorably. Our warriors fell well. The small beast! He can take a thrashing, and he points at Twing. And he goes, and that one! And he points his trident up at Archibald. Smell wrong.
He is a
Socks
little bit
puts a
small, but it's not
protective
that bad.
hand on Archibald's head and goes, yeah, but he's Oz.
The swagger with the knife goes, we smelled that one. We assumed he was the outsider. But it seems you are just as lost in the mists as we.
Correct. Though we are outsiders, we are not the cause of our common issue here. So, Dolus will take the knife out of him, and you
Make a
gonna-
medicine check real quick to make sure you don't cause bleeding out by removing this dagger.
I don't really care that if I do, but I guess sure. That's an 8.
You pull it out, and you do 3 points of damage, and this man fucking dies. The one on the deck now just looks horrified, and he's like, we do not wish to have this issue. If you can play the outsider, we will take away the mothers. You may be on your way.
Then we
Dolus
might
is
need
just
your
kind of
help.
looking at the dead body. He's just like looking at the dead body, just like, well.
Kieran feels them die and just goes, finally! And he switches his hex to the guy who's there, like, I was waiting. That guy had my hex for so long. And he switches his hex to the guy on the floor.
Hex the dude on the super injured dude on the floor.
Yeah, I was waiting for that guy to die.
There are 2 Swaggin left now, the one that's okay and the one that is just like
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
hanging
he's
on
fine.
by a thread. Hanging on by...
Lotus with the 4 tridents. She's gonna just walk over and gently lay one of the tridents next to the injured one, and then she's gonna walk off with the other 3.
The injured one still has its own trident.
Yeah. I'm
Just kind of looks at the
one
one you put down, and he like reaches out and slowly takes it. The non-injured one goes, the scent. We were already following it when we heard the echoes.
Twink's gonna look at Eggled and go, I told you it was dinner bells.
Eggled kind of just nods from his place over, like, he was the one who prevented the cannon firing with Harmon. Just kind of nods.
We're having them for dinner?
The
What?
one on the floor just looks horrified.
Socks looks at
he's
the
gonna
okay one and goes, well, then we're gonna need your help. See if you can sniff out another one.
The okay one points his trident off into the mist, and he goes, we were headed that direction. The smell comes from there.
And he turns to Lorelai, a much more serious look on his face than normal, and goes, well, we can go through this mist and just hope we find our way out, or we go take care of the cause.
Lorelai crosses her arms and she goes, well, if we do to whoever's doing this what we just did to them, I'm not worried. And she shouts up out to the entire crew, and she goes, all right, we're on the move! And immediately all the crew, with like the most professional avoidance of what would they just witnessed, sets right back to work as though nothing had happened, except one or two of them are now dragging Sahuagin bodies.
Socks takes rope out of his bag and hands it to the OK Sahuagin and goes, just so we can keep track of you, do you mind tying this around your waist?
And Sahuagin goes, why would I?
We need help. You can sniff him out. We can't. If he moves, we'd be just as lost as before.
So are you asking the Sahuagin to tie himself up?
Around his waist, so that we can see the direction the rope is
He's
going.
not getting off the boat.
Fuck. Never mind then. So Socks just goes, if you can point us in the right direction.
He's currently pointing his trident in the mist.
I will
Socks
go
a
fuck
big
myself.
dummy.
I'll go
Socks a
fuck
big
myself.
dummy.
Because I was just like, okay, that direction, great. Guide us.
More than that, he's following his smell, bro.
Can I pick up the one that I just accidentally killed?
What? Yeah.
I'd just like to, while this is all going on, I just pick him up and just like slowly descend down and just like place him gently onto the water.
Oh, that's so nice. you do that, and he kind of just starts sinking slowly.
And Dolus just goes, I'm sorry. And he flies back up onto the deck.
All right, you are all on the deck of the boat. Lorelai and her crew are rushing to turn it in the direction of the trident, and that the good Sahuagin has gone to the bow of the ship and is waving his trident in the correct direction.
Socks turns to Archbold and goes, does that do anything to you if you just keep using magic that's stronger and stronger?
This is perfect, actually. Give me one moment.
Are we about to find out now?
So he goes, so, if I get higher than I'm supposed to naturally get, it's bad.
And what is naturally for you?
So I'll say this is a DM. Naturally, and this is something Socks would know, is sort of a peak, and it's 9. It's 9th level spell slots.
So he just used the last possible one he could.
He used the last one he could before this got very bad very fast. He goes, every one over that starts to hurt me.
How so?
It physically hurts me, however much I use.
Well, is it a burning or strain?
It's a real sort of magical crippling of my body that will occur. And basically, it could kill me.
And how do we make you go back down?
He just kind of shrugs. He goes, we wait.
Right. And he just kind of places his head back on his, places his hand back on his head and goes, no more for you today.
He kind of nods, and the armor of Agathis vanishes. And then he just goes, whew, and he flops down onto the deck, just sitting, and he's like, that was awesome. That was really cool. I'm gonna take a nap now. And he flops back.
I agree. I could really use a short rest.
I'd like
and
one of
as Lorelai sets the ship in the direction of the outsider, we're all going to begin a short rest, and we're going to end our session there today.
Okay. Can we go ahead and roll our hit die, or
Go ahead and roll your hit die for recovery on the short rest. We'll get that out of the way now.
I'm gonna say before I take a short rest, I use up my last spell slot to cast Cure Wounds on myself.
Okay, cure wounds on yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Kieran took a trident to the gut.
Yup.
That feeling when Dolus literally stood trying to be in the way of fire that fight, and he took no damage.
Okay.
Nobody attacked Dolus.
Heal yourself.
So, thank you everybody so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. We actually had Archbold do proper combat on our side this time,
Yeah, it was horrifying.
and he seems to not think we are all horrible freaks anymore. But now we have a whole new society of creatures that do. So if you enjoy,
Twink's name will go down in legends as the small beast.
Are we the bad?
Legends.
Are we the baddies? Thanks everybody for coming. I can't wait to see you all next week.
make
Except
sure
I
you
won't see
subscribe
You'll see me.
so that you can see more, and we'll see you all next time.
Bye.
Bye.